The dark forest consumed everything around it, like the maw of a beast devouring all in its path. Trees bent over the grave, as if mourning those buried beneath their roots. The sounds of the night were filled with apprehension, and even the bravest would be subdued by this grim atmosphere. Max sat by the campfire, trying to find even the smallest glimmer of light in this dark abyss. His campfire was the last beacon of hope in this bottomless ocean of darkness. He didn't believe in ghosts, but on this dark night, even he found it difficult to maintain composure. And then he heard it, a quiet, whispering voice, inhuman, more like the moan of the dying. Max raised his head, listening intently to the sound. It seemed to come from the depths of the forest, from the very chambers of the dead. "Mahax," the voice whispered, as if beckoning him. "Mahax." Max recoiled, his heart freezing in his chest. This voice pierced him to the bone, sending shivers down his spine. He still didn't believe, but there was something in this voice that made him cold with fear. And then, as if in response to his thoughts, a silhouette appeared before him. It was a shadow, darker than the night itself, like a sinister ghost emerging from the darkest nightmares. Max tried to flee, but his legs wouldn't obey him. He was rooted to the spot, as if the ground beneath him had turned into dead clay, swallowing his feet. The silhouette approached, its outlines becoming clearer. It was something terrible, something that should not exist in this world. Its eyes gleamed in the darkness, and its contours seemed unstable, as if it were woven from the most terrifying nightmares. "Mahax," the ghost whispered, its voice full of hatred and malice. "You came here to find me. You came here to become mine." Max tried to cover his ears from this terrible sound, but its words pierced into the core of his being. He felt fear engulfing him, felt himself losing control. And then, at the last moment, when Max thought his consciousness would be swallowed by eternal darkness, he heard the rustling of leaves, a sign of the proximity of something older and more powerful. The foliage swayed as if under the breath of nature itself, and in the next moment, the silhouette of the ghost disappeared, dissolving into the dark night. When morning illuminated the forest, Max was alone. His tent was empty, and the campfire had long since died out. He was left only with the secret of this dark forest, a secret that could not be found in books or legends. And perhaps that was the best way it could end, because some secrets are better left undiscovered, buried in the depths of the earth, away from curious eyes. When Max regained the ability to move again, the forest around him seemed unusually quiet. Only the whisper of the wind and the murmur of the stream broke the deathly silence. He stood up, feeling every muscle in his body tense with strain, and surveyed his surroundings. Max's gaze fell upon the grave, standing in close proximity to him. The dark stone structure seemed to draw him towards it, and he felt his feet moving towards this grim place once again. Fear gripped him once more, but along with it came something else: curiosity. Max couldn't explain why, but he felt that there was some secret hidden in this grave, and he wanted to uncover it. With each step towards the grave, his heart pounded stronger. Suddenly he stopped, realizing that someone or something was watching him from the darkness. He felt a presence, like a cold gaze, following his every move. Max tried to dismiss these thoughts, comforting himself with the idea that it was all just his imagination. But when he approached the grave, something made him freeze. Beneath the stone slab lay something strange, an ancient book, wrapped in dust and cobwebs. Max took it in his hands, feeling a strange magical pulsation, and began to study its pages. Ancient symbols and drawings, incomprehensible words and mysterious incantations filled each page. Max couldn't read most of the text, but he felt that this book contained powerful magic, a force that could change the world. He felt something awakening within him, something ancient and powerful. Everything in his being was drawn to this book, as if his destiny was intertwined with this ancient knowledge. But suddenly, his thoughts were interrupted by the sound of the wind, as if calling him back to reality. Max closed the book and clenched it in his fist, deciding that he was not ready to delve into this world of dark magic. He looked at the grave, at the dark trees surrounding him, and decided that it was time to leave this place. But when he turned to leave, he froze, as if rooted to the spot. Before him stood the same silhouette of the ghost, dark and menacing. Its eyes gleamed in the darkness, and its voice was full of hatred and malice. "You cannot leave," Max the ghost hissed. "You belong to me. You are mine." Max felt fear engulfing him once again, but along with it came something else: determination. He was no longer the boy who had come here in search of adventure. He was ready to confront this ghost, ready to fight for his freedom. Clutching the book in his hand, Max stood tall, ready for battle. He knew it wouldn't be an easy fight, that he would be battling against forces beyond his understanding. But he was ready. He was ready to become the guardian of this secret, to stand between the world of the living and the world of the dead. And when morning illuminated the forest, Max was gone. But his story was far from over. He became part of this dark world, its protector and guardian. And his name lived on in this forest as a legend, as a warning to those who dared to risk their fate in its dark depths.